coming to you live on this technical difficulty Sunday. It's the All Access 660 show. For those of you who are out there listening, thank you so much for staying with us. We did have some issues this morning. I am your host, Mo Morris, along with my partner, Mr. Rasul, Sharif, and as always, our third man in the building is our resident engineer. I don't know what happened this morning, but we had some issues with our computer system and our streaming, and we were unable to stream. First we'll start with this. Partner, how are you today? We'll just start with that.
It's a crazy day, man. Crazy day. But this might wind up being the best show ever.
It might end up being the best?
It may wind up being the best show ever. We're going to find out.
We're going to find out?
We're giving everybody a hard hour straight.
1 hour straight, no commercials.
All right, let's go.
So let's go. So first and foremost, it's a very special day for us in here today because we have a couple of guests in the building. The first guest, who will not be on the air, she's an actor.
She could be on the air.
Time. Full disclosure?
Full disclosure.
So we tried this at 10 o'clock. She wanted no parts of it. The difference of an hour. She's wide awake now.
She's wide awake.
She's making noise in the back. She's walking over here now. Exactly. Right. This is going to be a crazy hour.
Probably.
Right.
So we have Miss Aisha Hinds in the building, as well as Miss Kellee Stewart. Both of these young ladies are actresses. They have their own shows and movies in their own right. First off, we'll start with Miss Aisha Hinds. You have seen her in the movie Unstoppable. You've seen her in Weeds, the TV show on Showtime. You've seen her on Hawthorne, The Shield, Detroit 187. She's currently working on a TV show right now that's going to be showing on every Friday on the CW network called Cult Fridays. How are you today, Miss Hinds?
I'm fantastic.
Okay, I'm glad that you're here.
Holy cow. This is like a totally different person.
What's up out there, All Access 660? How y'all doing?
Absolutely. And then the other young lady we have in the building is Miss Kellee Stewart. You have seen her on Guess Who. You have seen her on Hot Tub Time Machine, the movie. You've seen her on Law & Order. Most recently, she was on My Boys for 4 seasons. She's currently working on 2 different projects, one on Lifetime called Witches of the East End, and the other one is called Middle Age Rage. Miss Kellee Stewart is in the building.
Good morning, All Access. I'm glad y'all stayed around because we stayed around.
Yes, we did. So as we said, this was a situation where we actually went through a full interview with Miss Kellee Stewart in the 10 o'clock hour, actually. And
yes, I was very good. Mo was questionable.
Oh, wow, really? Are we really going to go there?
Seriously? This might get crazy.
No, it's not going to get crazy.
Well, we said this is full disclosure.
So for those of you who don't know, Kellee and I have been friends for a lot of years. She is, without question, one of my closest friends in the world. I've also known Miss Aisha Hinds I've known her probably about 5 days longer than I've known Kellee Stewart. As crazy as that sounds,
This is true. That
is very true.
There was a lead-in.
There was a lead-in.
I was the rehearsal like this morning, radio interview.
So
you were the main event.
I actually met Miss Hinds on the way to Mexico in the Newark airport, I think, if I remember correctly. We were on our way to Mexico to a film festival. And then, ironically enough, I met Miss Kellee Stewart on the way back from that exact same film festival.
Yes.
So I was able to meet these 2 ladies. At that time, they were up-and-coming actresses. They were still working day jobs, but they were grinding and doing what they needed to do in order to become successful in each of their own rights, obviously, out in L.A. I'm so proud of both of them. So I guess we're going to start, and since you both are going to be doing an interview, the questions are going to be to both of you, obviously. You guys chime in however it is you want to do it. The first question I have is, A, how did you get started? Why did you get started? How do you feel about the fact that you actually got started in this business?
You want to take this, AI?
Okay, let's see. Let's roll the tape back. My father, the first movie that my father took my family to see, took me to see, I was introduced to the medium of film by going to see Gandhi. Not some animation film for kids, something that would have been friendly to my brain. My father just thrust us out there and put us in front of Gandhi. And I remember thinking that Ben Kingsley was actually Gandhi. And so when the medium was broke down for me and I realized that, this is an actor and he's actually telling this story and he's actually able to impact lives and give people information, and affected me in such a way that I knew that this was something that probably I would want to be doing for the rest of my life. And then following that, my mother took me to my first Broadway show, which was Serafina on Broadway. And I remember now seeing a young girl who looked like me and, you know, just something that I could access, again, inspiring me in such a way. And so at that point, I knew that this was something that I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And so I began to pursue it as such and went to the school in New York, LaGuardia Performing Arts, and just continued going forward from that point.
I like how you use the word access.
You know.
I see what you did.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, I like it.
Just, you know, soundbite, all access,
I feel you.
660,
I like that.
in the building.
I like your friends, Mo. I like your friends.
Absolutely. And Miss Stewart?
Well, mine was actually theater-based. I think I was around 7 or 10 years old, and my mother was waking me up for school, and she decided, I remember she used the word, we're going to play hooky today, and we got dressed and got in the car. I think she was just feeling free that day, and she took me to New York City, and we saw the Broadway musical Cats. So that was my first introduction to theater. And I actually remember there's a part in the show where the cats come off the stage and do a little dance, and they run back to the stage, and I happened to be on the aisle seat, which children usually are not. But I got up and started to run to the stage following one of the cats. And I remember my mom grabbed me and was like, no, you can't go up there. And I was like, why? And that kind of is when the madness began. So I got into community theater, and I would do summer programs in Philly at Freedom Theater. And then eventually I went to SUNY Purchase here in New York, upstate, and studied and moved to Brooklyn. And then I actually became a modeling agent and represented Miss Aisha Hinds over here for a moment or two, and then went out to LA.
Very nice, very nice. You guys kind of took the same path, but a little bit different, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I appreciate that. I guess my next question for you guys is, so right now we're going through pilot season, or you guys are going through pilot season, and I'll let you guys explain exactly what pilot season is, but I just needed to know, how do you guys deal with the ups and downs of pilot season? I know this sometimes it's very emotional because you're getting rejected quite a bit. You have to go through these auditions in front of all of these people, and it just has to be a hard thing. So just kind of give me a perspective of how that works each time.
I have a real quick answer for that. I'm going to let Kellee probably explain the whole logistics of pilot season and how it works and how it's set up. For me, the first few years of pilot season probably was something that started to just really affect me as an actor and my soul. And, sometimes it can be very, very discouraging and challenging, but then I had to resolve that God created 4 seasons. Winter, Spring, Summer, Fall, and Pilot was not the 5th one. And so I surrendered.
Really?
I surrendered to his program and his seasons for my life. And I realized that, I didn't have to give my life over to these first 4 months of the year every year. Like, it wasn't going down like that, because throughout the year, God was still effective, and he was still getting me jobs and still providing and making a way. And, my path was written way before the foundation of the earth. And so it wasn't going to be just reduced to this pilot season. And it's so funny that you would say that we have a similar path, Kellee and I, because that's our running thing, that, we've kind of been side by side in our journeys. And so, sometimes when it's high for her, then it becomes high for me. When it's low for me, it becomes low for her, and God has always placed us in each other's lives. So it's so ironic that we had you in a sandwich in our lives. Like,
Whoa, wait, this is a family show. Not get too far with this, all right? Let's not get too
So
far.
basically what you're saying is you guys are there for each other when, one of you is going through a down period, and when one of you is obviously going through a high period, you're there for each other as well. So that's
Like no other. It's a very strong friendship bond and also artistic bond. And I think that people that really persevere have to have that, because you have to have some foundation. And for the people listening that might not know exactly what pilot season actually is, it's a period of 3 or so months where all the networks, from ABC to HBO to, everything, where they order pilots and they cast them. So that's our most busy season. As an actor, you can have up to, you can have anywhere from 5 to 12 auditions a week. And as AI said, you do go through a lot of rejection, and 95, 98% of our career is a no. But we do keep each other thinking and feeling and knowing that God is first, and knowing that it's our talent and our bond as friends. And we have a lot of people out there that go through the highs and lows. You just got to keep each other up, you know. You got to keep each other focused, and you just got to know that whatever your time is, it's going to come in a big, bright, shining way. I mean, Aisha is working right now on Under the Dome, which is a show that's going to be on CBS, am I correct? Which is a Stephen King, based off of a Stephen King novel. And she's shooting that in North Carolina. And I just shot the Lifetime series in North Carolina. So
Same
we
place,
really
right?
are side by side.
Absolutely. When you told me that, I laughed
totally
a couple
side
weeks
by
ago.
side.
Yeah.
But I actually texted her a couple weeks ago and was like, you know, because I had something coming up in LA, and I said, Aisha, I need you to pray on this because, you know, I'm feeling down. I'm not able to encourage myself in this moment. And like clockwork, she comes in with all the words of wisdoms that I need to know. And I think it was 24 hours later that the job was had. So we keep, you know, we hold each other down.
Very nice, very nice.
Kind of like you and Rasul.
Absolutely. It's exactly like
Well, Mo holds me down.
Oh, no. Rasul
I do nothing
definitely
for this relationship.
Oh, would you stop? Would you stop it, please? As I always say, he is the brainchild behind this operation over
That's
here.
why I didn't work out today. See what happened when you
It's
give me
25 weeks,
responsibility?
man. Come on. It obviously is working out, so I'm definitely not going to even say that. All right, I guess my next question for you guys is downtime. What do you do in your downtime? I know you get, I don't want to say quite a bit of downtime, but more than the average person who works a 9-to-5 job. You guys get a little bit more downtime because, as you said, you have a 3 to 4 month period where you're grinding like really hard, and I get it. But what do you do in your downtime? How do you spend it? The perception probably is that you guys vacation all the time. You are partying all the time. I understand that that's not the case, but just what do you do?
In the downtime, I would have to say we try to keep ourselves fed, you know, whether it's creatively by, you know, like last night, Kellee and I, you know, have the distinction of seeing Cicely Tyson on stage. Cicely Tyson is a legend, you know, and she still runs the board. She runs that stage. She literally had probably, you know, a supporting cast of like 99 people on that stage.
Wow.
On that stage. I'm joking. I'm exaggerating. But she did have quite a large supporting cast, but there's something about every time Cicely Tyson opens her mouth, and even in her silence, that she just takes up the entire room. And so, you know, we went, you know, to see a couple of plays on Broadway. We try to keep ourselves fed creatively. We try to keep ourselves, you know, physically fit. We also try to keep ourselves fed physically because we like to eat good food. Yeah. So, you know, we travel the world. We do travel a little bit, and we, you know, we get to our favorite places and just try to do things that feed our spirit and keep us, you know, happy.
Yeah. And we also, you know, we write. We got to get some stuff out because even though we grind during pilot season, if we book a series, like for instance, when My Boys was on the air, I was on the air for 4 consecutive years. Right. So I was shooting for 4 consecutive years. And so I didn't have as much downtime then. But when you do, you know, like Aisha said, you have to keep yourself creatively fed. So whether that's an outlet of writing, or whether that's an outlet of doing theater, whether that's an outlet of doing community service, or whatever we can do, you know, we've tried to maintain a sense of realism because Hollywood is just not real, you know, and the business that we're in is not normal. It's not normal to get rejected, you know, like 15 times a week. It's just not, you know, it's not a normal emotional experience. So you always have to just keep everything very, very basic. And, you know, we were the same people when we lived in Brooklyn that we are now living in LA.
Speaking of rejection.
I will
let's speak of rejection. See, we going back to like the full disclosure we were having when we were down.
This show's about to go left in a hurry.
Get to the dating question, Mo.
All right, so the next question I have for you guys is reality TV. Do you watch it? Do you like it? If you do watch it, what shows do you watch?
Should we just speed this along so we can get to the real deal?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I kicked and screamed. Honestly, you know, admittedly, I kicked and screamed about the whole advent and infiltration of all this reality TV that was happening, and then found myself fully addicted to some of the most ridiculous drama on television. And, you know, I do watch me some Love and Hip Hop. I do get wrapped up into Tahiri and Joe Budden's dysfunctional love. I am fully sucked into Yandy and Mendice's situation right now. Found myself praying for Mendice's and Yandy's baby. I mean, it's a situation in these streets, you know, but honestly, I realized...
She is from Brooklyn, so let's be clear. She is from Brooklyn.
I am. Shout out to Brooklyn. I realized that, you know, with the rejection, with so much of the pressure and the stress from our jobs and the stuff that we do on a daily basis, I literally call it like mindless time. Sometimes I just need to go home and watch some mindless television. And so that is my mindless television hour of the day.
Very nice. And Ms. Stewart?
Everything she just said.
She's trying to accelerate this conversation.
Yeah. No, it's the truth. Everything that she just said is the exact same experience that I have with reality TV.
All right, so I want to thank you guys for coming in.
Speaking of reality TV,
wow.
We have some reality TV right now. Are we getting
reality radio?
Here's the deal. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to cut our interview short.
Oh, really?
Because we have to pay our bills so that we can eat. And so we have to actually start talking about sports. You guys are more than welcome to stay.
Oh, I love talking about sports,
yes.
Especially the sport of dating.
Yes,
absolutely.
The sport of dating, the sport of men and women. And since we're sitting here amongst
Wait, can I say one thing?
four men, we could ask some questions. So, you know, we could have some listeners type in some questions.
We literally
for us.
have to get into our sports segment because we only have about 47 minutes, I think, left, and we have a ton of stuff to go through today. So why don't you guys shout out your Twitters? That way people can start to follow you guys, because I know you both have Twitters. I know you both definitely have Twitter, so please shout them out.
Yes.
My Twitter is Aisha Hinds. That's my handle. AISHAHINDS.
Do you follow back?
I do.
Okay. She'll follow you back, guys.
If you're talking about something, if not,
she might not follow you back.
Unfollow back.
So you're gonna start following the show going forward. Is that correct, Ms. Hinds?
I will absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Start following the show.
And Ms. Stewart?
It's my name as well. Kellee_Stewart is my handle on Twitter. Yeah, and I follow All Access.
I know she is our first Twitter follower. So
I am the first.
You are without question the first Twitter follower.
The one and only. Are we the first female guests on the show?
You are absolutely the first female guest. We've had a couple of male guests, but you guys are the first female guest.
I feel honored.
So I definitely want to say thank you guys so much. You don't understand what it means to us for you guys coming in, spending a few minutes with us.
Thank you. You guys are doing a great job. Very proud, and it's a wonderful show. So thank you.